Hello, beautiful souls. This is Monica Bermudez. Welcome to my YouTube channel of Sacred Heart Awakenings. I am an energy, sound, heart healer, transformer, spiritual teacher, and channeler. So I was intuitively guided to share a message with you, especially with all the changes happening at the moment. And I wanted to speak from the heart and some of my personal experience as well. So it's amazing that it's June of 2020. We're barely kicking off this new year. It's already half the year. And we're barely kicking off the decade. It's a new decade. And all the things that are happening now, it's just amazing. What the universe is really telling us is to wake up. Now is the time to make changes. Now is an opportunity to make those permanent changes for humanity. So for those who are light workers, know that we are working with the light. And we are working with the light in one way or another. Whatever way you choose, you know to use with the energy of love and light. So seeing a recap of this year, for example, we started the year by seeing the events of the fire that happened in Australia and how that brought the whole world together to see what was going on and help and assist in some way. And then this whole virus kicked in and it caused the entire world to go into a complete lockdown, quarantine. And now we're barely getting out of this quarantine. And on top of that, we have several planets going to retrograde, especially this month. It's going to be a total of 7 planets going to retrograde. So this month will be definitely a very intense month. 2 eclipses in 1 month. And the thing about eclipses that it teaches us is all about temporary darkness. And it tells us that during this temporary darkness, we could still hold our light. In the minute we get out of it, our light shines brighter and we are a new person. So the other recent thing happening also is the whole protests and riots, and all because of the racism that's been happening now for some time, but just needed to come out into the light to be seen more. So I don't agree with any form of discrimination, just to set that further. And it's one of those things that I believe in the human rights and the human equality. And I just want to share that I know where you come from when it comes to anger and feelings that come up and emotions, because it's human. We're human, and it's a human experience. So I'm not saying not to have those, but the point is that don't let it consume you to hold you in complete darkness, because you also have a greater light inside of you that you can use with such greater power than that emotion. So act with love rather than react with emotion. So, and the reason why I know what it's like to be angry, even though I'm not demonstrating it right now because I'm sharing a message with love, is that I remember when I used to study the United States history. I remember when the topic of slavery or any form of discrimination, and even the way the Native Americans or some other way were treated, it used to anger me so much. But then when I grew up and I started to learn about all the different cultures and all the different perspectives and all the differences in humanity and all the people around, that there's even kind people out there also who want to make a difference and also disagree with all the injustice of discrimination. So the point is that we are humanity, and we can make a difference together if we do it in an organized way with love and compassion. Now let's look at our famous figures who did that as a role model, and they were divine warriors of light and love. One is Martin Luther King, Gandhi, even Ascended Master Jesus, who lived in human form. And they were here to teach us that making a difference, standing up even in those moments of very dark years, darker than it is now, even though it seems like it is darker now, because this has been boiling now for some time. And now that the earth has increased in frequency and greater light, some may call it the fifth dimensional, and it is. It's harder for the lower vibration and the shadows to hide. So we will see more of this come out into the light. And it comes out for a reason, because it is time for the light workers, the way showers, and those divine warriors of light and love to step up and actually make a difference, make a permanent change, but do it from a place of love and compassion. And as Martin Luther King said, and even Gandhi, violence only leads to more violence. So that's why their message is very powerful, because love is actually much stronger. It doesn't mean it's weaker. It's much more powerful than we can ever imagine. And studies have shown and have actually studied the energy of love and its frequency. And they've seen the results for themselves, how this does affect the body and affects the environment. So whatever way we choose to make a difference, whether it be through a meditation of spiritual support, of energy support to the world and sending out our most positive thoughts and vibrations, or whether it be through a physical, silent, or peaceful protest, it's really up to us. And all of that comes from a place of love and compassion. So I understand with everything going on, there's a lot of changes, and I know that even at the individual level, some people may be going through other changes, some other form of loss. And at the collective level as well, there's a lot going on everywhere. Everybody's impacted. We're all in this together. I wanted to recommend 3 tips of ways to help you navigate through the changes and to help you manage the emotions that come up and the stress. Things that have helped me when I went through my divorce many years back, and what helped me to manage my emotions. So I do understand where you're coming from a human experience. So before I get into the steps or the keys, please, just as a reminder, subscribe to my channel of YouTube's Sacred Heart Awakenings, so that you can hear more love notes with Monica. Love notes like the one that I'm sharing right now, message, which I do plan to share more messages with you. So getting into the steps. Number 1, cut down on media. All right, so the news usually has been very negative, okay? So it's okay if you want to hear what's going on in the world, but my point is, don't overdo it and listen to it every minute. I don't know if you noticed, but the news likes to repeat over and over and over again. And in some ways, that's very programming. I would say brainwashing. Because then it all gets programmed at your subconscious level. Even though you may be thinking that consciously you're not going to let it happen. But at a subconscious level, it is picking it up. It does make a difference. So do some form of media fasting. Number 2, breathing. So air is very important for the human body, and the ancients knew this very well. That's why you have yoga, and yoga has breathing techniques in it. So yoga is a very ancient technique that's been known or passed down for a very long time traditionally. So a lot of things are definitely coming out now that were known by the ancients, and a lot of things that just are ready actually to come out into the light for us to know who we are and where we come from. So I recommend breathing techniques, and I'm going to recommend through the nose, to inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. And the reason is because I was finding that scientists have been doing research that when we breathe in through the nose and even exhale through the nose, that it retains, or it helps retain more oxygen in the human body than it would by doing it through the mouth. So normally, some do inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. But what I was finding with the studies is that it actually is better if doing it through the nose, because it retains more oxygen. So I offer also an additional step to that technique of the breathing, so that when you breathe in, imagine you're breathing in love, inhaling love. And as you breathe out, exhaling through the nose, you are exhaling fear. You try it now as a demonstration. You could do it with me. Inhale through the nose and hold for 5-10 seconds. And gently exhale through the nose. We're exhaling fear. So how does that feel? Now you can do that several times until you feel that it really calms and it soothes you. So the third step is listen to very calming type music, sound and certain frequencies of music that you do help the body in calming down and relaxing. I mean, look at the spas. They always have some form of relaxing music for people to just help them manage whatever stress or tension for the day. So I do recommend Chopin or Mozart, for example. It's amazing that the frequency of that music is very relaxing. Definitely not heavy metal. Definitely agitate you more. So not that. So I always want to recommend those 3, and I hope that they do help you in managing any stress or any type of emotion that may come up during these changes, and helping you stay balanced and healthy and well through mentally and emotionally in many ways. So just to remind everyone to please be safe and be well out there, whatever it is that you decide to do to make a difference. Just remember that you are that divine being of light, and you hold such great power within your soul to make a difference, to make a permanent change, when you do it with an organized way of love and compassion. Now, if you're looking for examples of modern people who are doing this love and compassion organized way of making a difference. Now, before I talked about past figures like Martin Luther King and Gandhi, but let's look at the modern present moment of some examples and role models. Let's look at Malala. She's fighting for women's rights, and she's doing it in a way that's organized, in a way of love and compassion. Look at Greta, who is wanting to make a difference for climate change. She's an activist for climate change, and she's very passionate about it. So that's the way I see it when she speaks, is that she's very passionate about making the changes. So I do admire their strength and their courage for standing up and voicing their voice, and they're standing up with love and they're acting with love. So I just wanted to point that out, of examples of modern people. And we have celebrities like Leonardo DiCaprio, who is making a difference by helping the environment and some of the climate changes in his own way. So there are many ways that we could serve, and we can serve as light workers and divine warriors in this world and make a difference. So before I end, I want to extend an invitation to each of you for I'll be doing a free guided meditation this Friday, June 5th, during the full moon and lunar eclipse, where the energy will be very high. So it'll be a time to let go and release of anything that no longer serves you, and that's a perfect opportunity for that. It will be a powerful meditation. So if you can join me, the link is below this video. Just click to the Facebook group and join me there at Sacred Heart Awakenings. So you are, as a reminder, a being of light, and I'm speaking to your soul level, and that's why I address everyone as beautiful souls, because I'm speaking to your soul and just saying that the soul is very beautiful. What keeps it buried are all the emotions and all the things that get in the way and blocks some of that beauty. But it's all part of the experience that we come to learn here as humans. So one step at a time, we make the changes, we make a difference, and together we're stronger. So I just want to end this message with a phrase that is rarely used, and is rarely used with strangers. I just want to say, I love you, and I'm purely speaking from soul level, soul to soul type love. So, and that's a phrase that is rarely used. It's easier, I feel it's easier for people to say I hate you than it is to say I love you. So why not start a movement of I love you instead, and let that spread and let it grow, and just look at each other as souls, because that's what we are, a soul living in a human experience. So I will see you in the next video, and I look forward to sharing more messages of love notes. Be well, be kind, stay healthy. Bye for now.